Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Mekel Kasanova back with another episode of Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast. This is going to be a kid and cast episode because my kid's right here. I'm recording this in the living room. She's in her little mood right now where she just wants to be held and be, she's in full on, I want to be around dad mode. So there we go. And I figured today, what I want to talk about, this is actually going to be more of a response episode of Decked Up than anything else. And it's not a bad response. You know, you typically, when you think of responses, you think of it in like a negative setting, but this is not at all in any way, shape, or form negative. This is me basically, I'm co signing on everything this person said. And if y'all are not sure who I'm talking about none other than fellow YouTuber Chris Toro. Look, I've said it before on the podcast many times. I'm a big fan of this man's content. I find his humor funny. I love his content, very informative, very in-depth. And I think if you haven't, I think you definitely should go and check out his content. I highly recommend it. So Chris Toro, shout out to you, my guy. I'd love to have you on the podcast one day just to talk, the Ally, Steam Deck, gaming tech, all the good shit. Just shoot this, shoot stuff. Sorry, don't don't repeat what Daddy said. Anyways, I want to touch on what he said, and this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but I watched his video today about basically he was saying that the Steam Deck for him since he got his ROG Ally has just literally been sitting and collecting dust, and so you know and when you dig a little bit deeper, actually, before we even go into that, can we talk about that intro? I'm gonna show the intro right here.
I'm sorry, little one.
What did it cost?
$700.
I was dying when I saw it because it's so true. It's literally how I felt when I got my ROG Ally. And I know a lot of people have been kind of like, outside of like YouTube, I've been getting bashed by some folks because they've been saying like, hey, you went from one of the biggest supporters of the Ally, I mean not the Ally, but the Ally, but for the Steam Deck, and you were all hardcore on the Steam Deck and making tutorials, guides, all that. You talking about you were pro Steam Deck, and then you kind of just at some point you switched up and you went anti Steam Deck. Here's the thing, I'm not anti Steam Deck. I think I've said that many times, and it just seems like that continues to fall on deaf ears of people just not understanding my stance on it. And the thing is, and Chris Toro actually said this, and he's the first person to say this, and it's something I said, and I got a lot of flack from it. But the Steam Deck community, the way they've acted, like acting like the jealous girlfriend, bashing anything to come, literally anything that comes out. Project Q, okay, bash it. Maybe to a lot of folks is dumb, but look, my PlayStation 5 right now is being used for this little one to watch. I don't know, what is this, Winx, whatever she's watching right now. Like, I rarely ever get to sit and play on my PlayStation 5. And yeah, I can remote play on this, I can remote play on the deck, I can remote play from my phone. But for me, Project Q just makes sense. And I'm probably gonna get it because I'm a PlayStation partner. Even if I wasn't, I'm pick it up anyway. I like the dual sense controller. So, getting back to the overall point, people really being in their feelings about anything coming out, Project Q, the ROG Ally, but they'll prop up other devices like the Chinese made ones, but they, Asus, bash it, Lenovo's supposed Legion Go, bash it, anything that comes up is a competitor to Deck. I mean, they were even doing this, and I've said it before about the Nintendo Switch, and so I've just, you know, the community itself, the toxic nature of it, and it really, I don't even want to say it's the Steam Deck community. If I really want to put a a scope on it or parentheses on it. I really want to say it's the Linux community, which has been toxic for decades, right? So, you know, dealing with them, just got me to a point where I'm like, I don't even really want to deal with I don't even want to play the deck. I got so sour dealing with, the Steam Deck community, other Steam Deck content creators. A lot of the fanboys come in attacking me in the comment section, attacking me in Discord, trying to come at me on other social media platforms when it's not that serious. So it just got me to a point where I got really tired of the deck. And then before the Ally even came out, I just literally, if I wasn't doing a video where I had to showcase the game running on the deck, I just wasn't playing it. I got so soured on the community that I got tired of just touching the device as a whole. And like I've said before in other videos, I understand you got people that have made whole careers out of just covering the Steam Deck. And I'm not hating anybody for getting the bag. Collect the bag, get the bag, secure the bag. How you gonna get it? But I just got to a point where I'm like, and I'm seeing it out there, some Steam Deck folks who have not learned how to like pivot. And I've said this before, you gotta, when you back yourself into a corner, when that, when you're covering that topic or that device is hot, when that device is not the hottest thing on the block anymore, what are you gonna do? And we're seeing a lot of folks that just can't pivot off of it. Yeah, this podcast originally started off being a Steam Deck podcast, being Decked Up a Steam Deck podcast, but I rebranded it to Decked Up a Gaming and Tech podcast. And I've got folks giving me flack because it's like, oh, it's still labeled Steam Deck in a way, like, or because Deck's in it, and then I guess because of the logo, which I've modified already. So it's whatever, people do what they do. But coming back to the point, I got really sick of just touching the Steam Deck whatsoever. I wouldn't play it. I didn't play it for emulation. I didn't play it for my Steam library. Like I said before, I got tired of tinkering, and it just really just like the community soured me on it. So it was very interesting being able to see somebody else who has actually gone through that too, and them say that's exactly how they felt too. And I'm like, bro, for real? I thought I was the only one that felt that way. Because a lot of folks don't want to be open and honest about that, you know, and I that's why I appreciate and I love the content that comes out of Chris Toro. I love the content from Gamers Digester. Another person, if y'all haven't checked him out, go check out Gamers Digester. And I'm finding a lot of people that make content that I really vibe with that are able to be completely honest about a device other than like licking the rim and the butthole of Valve and the Steam Deck. And it's the same thing. There are people that do the same thing with the Switch. Like, I don't care for the Nintendo fanboys, or really, it's not even Nintendo fanboys, because if these people were really Nintendo fanboys, I'm just saying, these people would have been around for the Wii U. You wouldn't have had only 12 million units sold in 4 years, right? So really it's Switch fanboys because that was a hot topic. People hopped on that. They built whole careers off of that. And, it's just what it is. But Chris Toro's video, the reason I vibe so heavily with it is because like he really was touching on everything that I felt. I felt like he was talking to me. I felt like we're just sitting here, we're just shooting a shooting a turd. You know what I mean. I can't really say what I want to say because my kid's right here. But we were like, I felt like we were just like talking, and somebody was saying the same thing I said. Like, is Ally perfect? No, it's got a lot of problems. But the fact is, I don't need to do a whole bunch of tinkering because look, I got this one. I watch her all day, and I got two teenagers. I don't have all day to really. That's why y'all haven't seen me do like a bunch of tutorials and whatnot right now because I really don't have the time. Probably gonna work on some this weekend, but I want to just pick up and game when I can. I rarely get the game like for pleasure. Like I do a lot for like content creating for reviews and stuff like that, but when I just want to play a game, if I want to play Ultimate Double Dragon, Legend of the Double Dragon, or Batman Arkham Asylum, or Dead Space remake, RE4 remake, Street Fighter 6, or KOF, or Doom 2016, or even Cyberpunk 2077, rarely, or Witcher 3. I just want to be able to sit and play it. I don't want to have to deal with like all the other stuff. I'm wondering, hey, do I need to find this compatibility layer? Do I need to like get a certain proton and do all this other stuff? Like, I leave that for the birds. For y'all tech heads out there that are really in depth about that and who really spend more time tinkering than actually playing a freaking video game, y'all can have it. That's where I'm at. And I felt like Chris Toro is in kind of like the same position in a way, because that's just the vibe I got. Like, yo, someone else feels that way. And like the same thing, like with how light the ROG Ally is, I love that. I love how light this thing is. I love how powerful it is. I love the versatility of it. I go back to the Steam Deck, I'm like, yo, this is clunky. It's heavy. I'm not the biggest proponent of Steam OS, like, because of the limitations that come around that, and games that I do want to play that just won't run on it, and even when you do workarounds, like it's still a completely unoptimized experience. And so for me, I just, it's not saying I don't hate the deck. I'm not a Steam Deck hater. I'm not gonna be someone to be like, don't buy the Steam Deck, go out and buy the Ally, or whatever have you. I look, you game on what you game on. It's fine being able to have your own personal preferences. I've been told that I'm completely biased to the ROG Ally to the point where, like, I actually had a friend say that to me, that I'm so biased to the point that you know I'm anti-deck. I'm anti, everything but the Ally, which I'm over here like, yo, I don't know what kush you smoking, but you got a bad batch. I'm just saying. I have a preference. Do I have a bias to it? If I had a bias, I would be overlooking everything, which I'm not out here like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I have a preference. And it seems like we're in such a sensitive time where people cannot stand criticism of anything. They cannot stand people having an opinion that goes against the grain of what everyone else is saying. And it's so annoying. It's just like, it's why I really just kind of stay to myself. I don't really F with nobody, just because, like, you say one thing and people get all up in their feelings, and then next thing you know, you got problems. I got 99 problems, but yo, y'all don't know what I'm saying. I just, that's where I'm at with it. And that's the other thing too. Like, you know, just vibing with everything he was saying in that video, it just hit me. I'm just like, bro, I just had to do a video saying, yo, Chris, bro, I love your content. Keep making it. Keep doing what you're doing. Bright future for you, man. You out here killing it. I love your content. And I feel the same way you do on a lot of things regarding these handhelds. I mean, I want a game. I just want a game. I don't want to tinker. I don't want to feel, just, I don't have that time. I don't think people get that. I keep telling folks, yo, I'm on 4 podcasts. I got this podcast, got the Kasanova podcast, I got Paul podcast across worlds with my wife. I got the podcast I'm starting back up with my brother, or actually, we really not even starting back up. We just jumping back into it, called Tech Etc. I got this YouTube channel. I got my Twitch channel. I got my Kick channel. I'm streaming on TikTok, making content for TikTok. Now I'm monetized on Twitter, monetized on Instagram. I'm streaming over on Instagram too. I got all this stuff that I'm doing on top of voice acting. I just broke into the voice act. Well, not just broke into it, but I'm in the voice acting industry. You know, getting my feet wet with that. And then, I've gotten back into acting. I'm doing commercials out here in Hawaii, doing in commercials and doing voiceovers and stuff for commercials, doing extras for movies getting filmed out here. Like, I'm at a point now, my time is so small, and all that comes behind watching this one. So that little bit of time that I get, I legit just want a game and just de-stress and have fun. Like, this is why, like, I don't be caring about the flame wars and people trying to like come and go off about this, that, and the third. I'm like, bro, I don't even care. You know, I'm like, I don't even care. I'm just over here trying to have a good time. Y'all, man, I literally almost died last week from pneumonia. And y'all think I care about this stuff like that? Y'all think I ain't got stock in none of these companies. So y'all need to chill. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. I know there's nothing really major I'm gonna talk about in this, or I talked about in this. I just wanted to say, man, I love Chris Thoreau's content. Y'all need to go watch him. You know, go give him a sub. If y'all are with, coming from my channel, y'all rock with me. Y'all gonna love his stuff. So go tell him Kel sent you. That's how John Bentley would say. He's like, hey, I'm gonna do this because Kel told me to. That's my boy, man. I had nothing but love for John. But anyway, that's all. I catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed. Pick up some merch for Decked Up. Pick up some video games too, for your Steam Deck, for your Ally, for just PC gaming in general. And yeah, y'all have a good one. Be easy. I see y'all around. Ahui ho, or as I normally say, peace.